Okay, we're live. It's James speaking. Another big, massive leap in the AI world this week. And it's something called OpenAI, same guys for ChatGPT. It's called DeepResearch. What I want to do today is I want to kind of introduce you as a beginner to DeepResearch and also tell you why it's a huge change for us if we're content creators, video creators, course content, anything to do with starting, building, growing an education business. It's going to change stuff again for us. So here's what we're going to do. First of all, I'm going to kind of explain at a really basic level what it is and why it's different. And then I'm going to give you two examples on how it applies to us as course creators. One on how we're doing things now with ChatGPT, and then how we'll be able to do things with the DeepResearch model. And I'm going to be upfront with you. I cannot show you a specific demo because DeepResearch is only available for pro users right now. I am a plus user. So from the documentation and the information on the OpenAI website, I should have it in the next 2 weeks where I'll do complete examples. But in this one, what I did is I kind of cheated and I said, if I did have, I went to ChatGPT and said, if I did have access, how would it work or what could I do with it? So it was kind of half-hearted demo, but it still shows you what's going to happen for us, again, as real people, small business owners, not people who are PhDs, doctors, scientists, physicists, mathematicians. So I'll put the links below, of course, for this. And again, make sure to like and join the channel and also join the community there. It's free to join where all of these resources are available to you. Um, so think of it this way. If I'm using ChatGPT right now, the way that it works is I make a request or a prompt and I get a response back from ChatGPT. So basically that request or prompt is I'm telling it to do something and it will respond. So that's normally what happens when we're doing stuff. What DeepResearch does is we don't necessarily give it a prompt to do something and respond with an answer. What we're doing is we're saying analyze all of this information, put it all together, and then give us a detailed report, and then give us references on how you came up with it based on what information. So it allows us to deep dive into any kind of topic that we want. Whereas before, if we were using that simple prompt, give me an answer back, we'd have to make multiple prompts. We'd have to get good at prompt engineering. We'd have to keep notes on everything and then try and put it together in some kind of report. So in the world of AI, when it comes to course creators, we're kind of that next step where we've got the AI tool like ChatGPT, but this one is a specific agent that only does research, and it does it incredibly well. If you go to some of the websites, and I'll pull up some of the screens here on YouTube, if you do a simple search just for something like ChatGPT DeepResearch or any of those tools, you'll see a whole bunch of really great videos in the last couple days. This only came out on Monday. There's a whole bunch like DeepSeek, Gemini from Google has one called DeepResearch. I don't know why they named it the same thing, but DeepResearch from OpenAI. There's cool demos because what they ask it is really tough analysis questions, and it'll work for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and it goes out and searches everywhere, and it analyzes all of the different how the different pieces work together, how they fit together, what searching and getting that answer means to the next place to search. So it does all that and it comes back with a report. Some of the examples I saw where they had the reports were 40, 50 pages long, and they had tables, graphs, detailed analysis, pros, cons, everything was in there. And that was just from one or two prompts. It went and did all of the research. So that's the big difference that they show in the demos. I was basically asking, hey, I just want to create videos. What does that mean to me? How does that affect me? I want to create a course. I want to create a video. How can I use DeepResearch to do all of this stuff? So here's what I'm thinking. Let's take a look at this right now. I'm going to use as my example what happens if I am a pickleball player and I'm putting a course together here on pickleball. And I did this example in ChatGPT just to kind of show you what happened. I'm figuring out my course and I'm using ChatGPT to come up or help me create that. So the first thing I need to do is kind of brainstorm on my topic, right? Like, what is this course going to be about? What is the promise that I'm going to make? And there's a couple things I can do because I'm an expert in something. I have an idea what it's about, but I'm still going to use ChatGPT to like kind of round it out to give myself some a little more information and maybe some stuff I hadn't thought of in the past. That's what I'm going to use it for. So I may do a prompt like, what are the most common challenges for pickleball players, or what topics should a beginner pickleball course cover? And it may come back. I gave a prompt. It may give me a response right away and says, you should do stuff on paddle selection, on basic rules, on strategies, techniques, footwork, all of that stuff. And it may put it in a post because those are topics. We asked it to give topics that we should be able to cover. Doesn't answer everything. So what I might end up doing is go, you know what? I really think I should get a second opinion. So I will go to Google Trends to see if in fact it wasn't lying to me. These are real trends. Maybe it wasn't one that ChatGPT gave me in the response. So I would give another prompt to ask if that was important. We go back and forth. But I do a whole bunch of additional resource, even with ChatGPT, to get those great points right at the start. When I was happy with the topics and the ideas that I had, next thing I might want to do is kind of, give an outline for the course. How am I going to put this together? What is the logical flow that I need to follow so that this makes sense? So, I may say, for example, let's do generate outline for a beginner pickleball course, including rules, techniques, and strategy. And you may get, ChatGPT may spit something out like this, right? Here are the modules, here are the things to cover. This is the course outline right here. And I may use some additional prompts to say, give me a detailed syllabus with 5 key talking points, 3 takeaways. But I'd have to go back and forth again with all of this information and do it manually and make sure that what I was getting from ChatGPT, I didn't know where the references came from. Maybe I uploaded some files to add to it, but it may given me answers from competitor sites or from not pickleball, but maybe badminton. I don't know. There's no references there, right? And after I'm happy with that, I'm going to go and create my content. So I may ask it to create a script, go through the same process again. I may ask it to generate images or to figure out what images I should put in, help me with videos, all of that stuff. Doing a launch, how are you going to do email, social media? But all of these steps are me going back and forth, trying to figure out what's my prompt, what's my response. So let's say, for example, I say, you know what? I don't want to prompt it. I go time. I want my digital virtual assistant to just go do the work and bring back to me what I need. Now, in the examples I saw, it was always a report, right? So if it was just a report I was asking to get back, I would just use something like, if I wanted to do my brainstorming, just an example, what I would do is I would just say, in this case, use an example, I just say, based on the current trends and recent studies, what are the emerging challenges and opportunities for beginners in pickleball? So what it does now is it will go out, it'll search all of the major news sites, any reference materials for events live in real time, anything to do with websites, anything to do with PDFs, images, research papers, anything it would put together, and it will go and search them and index them and figure out which are the ones do I need to search on now. And if I do something, what should I search on next? But it basically does all the deep digging for us on the research. What it does after that is it brings it all together and it puts it together in a report for us. And again, the more specific the question we have, the more detailed the report is. So if we wanted to do enhanced brainstorming, instead of doing a whole bunch of prompts, we could just basically ask it to give a detailed report on all of the the brainstorming ideas for the course. Just ask it to do it. And the cool part on any of these ones is when DeepResearch does it, it gives a detailed report, but it also says, you can actually watch it work if you want while it's going searching. It explains where it got from, the information from, with the reference links, and then why it put it together and how it organized it. So that assistant is like having proof for the work, right? They come back with the report, but the report says, this is my sources, these are how I came up with it, and also, this is how I figured out that these apply to this and that applies to that. and why I searched here and why I didn't search there. So you've got a complete picture of everything. And that's just for brainstorming. You can do that obviously for all of the sections we talked about, but in those cases, it's one prompt and done. So that's pretty cool. It saves all of that extra time and keeping notes and stuff. And we've got a really, really good reference document to use for our courses. But I'm kind of lazy, so I thought, you know what? What about if we just said, instead of giving me a report, what I want is, I want a course syllabus, I want the video scripts, I want 10 examples of titles and thumbnails or featured images, I want a checklist for handouts, I want all of these additional things that normally I would have had to do individually. So what I did this time is I said, you know what? What else could we ask for other than a report? And I came up with something that's kind of interesting. And when I was looking at the stats too, the stats that I got was you would save anywhere from, I think it was for every one or two or for every 15 prompts, 10 to 15 prompts you made in ChatGPT, you could use one or two prompts in DeepResearch. So that prompt and response stuff is multiples more efficient when you're using a tool like DeepResearch. Now here's the one I exampled when I was thinking about here. So let me just pull up this last one. Now, this is the one that I said, and this is the one that I think is really exciting where the big change is. I said, instead of a report at the end of the DeepResearch request, could I ask it to create a course syllabus, video scripts, launch emails, etc., based on its research? And what was the answer? Absolutely. Instead of just giving me the report, you can instruct DeepResearch tool to create actionable course materials based on its findings. Here's how you might approach it. So if I wanted a comprehensive thing, I could just say something like this. Based on the latest research and trends in pickleball education, create a complete course package that includes a detailed syllabus with modules and learning objectives, video scripts for each module, including introductions, main content summaries, seals of launchmas. So I basically tell it, this is what I need for my course. It is going to do the research and come back with all of the stuff that we need. And the more efficient that you get in a research prompt, which is basically an analysis prompt as opposed to a do prompt, we're going to be able to change or remove all sorts of steps that we're actually doing now live in real time. So this is exciting stuff. It is a big leap for people. It's going to happen. I know I don't have access to it quite yet. The pro users do. They're doing technical stuff, do it. I'm looking at, I got a small business. How do I remove all of the work that I used to do with ChatGPT and streamline it and make it more efficient for myself? So pay attention to this space. It's happening quickly. This is stuff that's happened in 6 weeks. 6 weeks, everything's changing. So if this is February now and you're thinking, man, what should I do? Should I build a course now the old way? Yeah, I'm still saying build courses, but just realize that what you're building now, you're going to be able to build in a fraction of the time later. And what you build now maybe might not be what you need to be building or have built in the near future. And you're going to be able to do it with DeepResearch. So stay tuned, like and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't already joined, make sure to go to trainingsites.io/join. That's my community where we have all of the videos, all of my courses. We have live classes on every Wednesday, and I'm just here to help you start building, growing education business. Like and subscribe to the channel. My name's James. It's trainingsites.io. Take care and expect the best.